Howdy folks, this morning's shave is with Wet the Face Cold Fusion. If you haven't seen Don's video, probably ought to take a peek at it. There's a number of things about this soap that you might want to be aware of. I tried to leave this about as original state as I could leave it. And you see where I scooped it out, I got a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the white, and there you can kind of see the crystals there. And the menthol crystals. Like I said before, if you hadn't seen the video, but I did take a few of those crystals out and I put them in a larger Humphrey's witch hazel that was unscented, and put some in there, and also put some in this one here that's citrus scented. And you can kind of tell through there that it's worked its way into the rest of the witch hazel. And as it goes for how much is in there, scent wise or the feel on the face, it's just enough to let you know that that there is menthol there. It's not a, how can you say, an overpowering, overwhelming thing. So when I bought this, my intention not only was because of the soap, but because he mentioned that the crystals would be, you know, just laying on the top there, and I would take some of the, and I knew that I was going to take some of those crystals and put them in some of my witch hazel. So yeah, I had two ideas with the soap. Also, of course, I have the matching aftershave to go right along with it. So it's going to be a very much a cooling effect type of shave. Also got the Allen Block, no rubber band, and no, it's not mentholated. And I got it whipped up here, and I guess you might say color appropriate blue for cold. Sarabachi bowl. That's what it looks like. I got it whipped up. It's very much, it's wet. It's not drippy necessarily, but it is on the wet side. Oh, with a Frank shaving brush here, and this is a Badger brush, and this, if this looks a little on the short side or small side, that's because it is. Works just fine in my hand. I like the smaller knots. Not that I don't appreciate the bigger ones, but as it goes for sometimes when I'm first starting out with something new, a smaller knot seems to work better for me. Definitely going to incorporate that in my face lathering that I'm working on. Shaver of choice today is going to be the Supply Injector. This one here is the polished version. This is the version I really do like. Kind of see it's tapered right there at the end, so you can put your little finger there to help with the control. There's that thumb screw. So if you're messing with it, yeah, you definitely want to have the plug in the sink. Or what I like to say is have a fluffy towel at the desk or table or wherever you're working at, so that if you should drop this thing, it doesn't go very far and it stays put. And this particular one here, like I say, it's one of my favorite shavers. It does have a Personna mini hair shaper blade. This is the container that it comes in. These are relatively easy to find, and I do load it in here with the, I take it apart and put it in there without the key. And yes, if you're wondering, there's where you insert the key. I just prefer to do it that way, just manually put it in there, because I have several of these, and it just makes it easy for me to load it and use these. These are easier to find than the ones with the key. It takes a little bit of work for me to find those, and usually when I buy them in bulk. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to wet my face, and I do have Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements unscented Preshave soap that is mentholated. Yeah, we're going menthol. I did test my an area. Where's that little card at? I think I laid it down and forgot where I put it. Oh, here it is. Here's the warning that will come with the soap, and it is something that you might want to take a little bit of time, which I did. I did put I say a little bit. I covered an area about this size right here on my cheek, and it was just enough. I mean, I worked it in my face. In other words, I was really pushing the issue to see if I was going to have an issue with this soap with that much menthol in it, and I didn't have any problems with it. The only problem, if you want to call it a problem or an issue, is that the menthol, being on this side, my eye was trying to water up. Matter of fact, it still is. I can still feel the menthol in my eye, and especially in my nose, so this is great for my nose. Anyway, having a lot of fun with this one this morning. I knew when he came out with this one I had to get it, that this was right up my alley. One of these very cold, being mentholated, nice cooling effect on the face. Face is going to be nice and cold. especially getting in this time of the year. For me, this time of the year, being towards the middle of June, typically here it's already pretty darn warm, and it's been mild in my opinion, temperature wise. It is going to be a little bit warmer today than what it has been. We've gotten so much rain here of late, but it's already been pretty warm. Matter of fact, it's usually pretty darn warm by the end of May, and so not complaining a bit, but that's for sure. The cooler weather is definitely welcomed, but I know that that's not going to last forever, and definitely not right now. We're halfway through the month of June. July is going to be here before you know it, and yeah, so I just know that I enjoy this. Get it all set up, ready to go, in the way of a lot of cooling effect type shaves. Yeah, I've been kind of excited about this shave for ever since I got it in the mail earlier this week. Just waiting for the weekend to, that way I can take my time in the video. So this video is probably going to be a wee bit longer than 15 or 17 minutes. It's probably going to be closer to 25, I'm guessing. This is as it goes for just scent right off the puck on the nose. This is probably the strongest mentholated soap that I got. And this soap, I should mention, it is a crope. I would call it a crope. And which way does it lean more towards a soap, or does it lean more towards a cream? I would say it leans far closer to a cream than it does a soap. This is very soft. So if you order this during the summer months, and if you notice that it shifted or something like that, I would set it flat, let it settle, if you will. Put it in the refrigerator. I think Don mentions that he's got on a note that, you know, put in there for about 30 minutes, you know, and it'll start to firm back up. But that's probably something you should keep in mind with whatever kind of soaps that you're ordering, especially anything that's got a lot of glycerin. It will melt. Glycerin, you'll be surprised. For instance, here locally, there's a grocery store called Reese's, and they have some Vanderhagen products there. And one of the soaps is glycerin, and it comes in their little plastic container that's got the flip top lid, if you will. It's all clear, and you can see the glycerin in there, and it's a solid form, of course. But if you leave it in your car very long, it will turn to liquid pretty darn quick. It didn't take a whole lot. So in other words, if you're wanting to put it in a shaving mug or something of the sort, I got a visitor in here. The glycerin soap will be quite easy to form to the puck. Might want to use, you can use the microwave, just have to pay very close attention to it. I would just warm it up in some warm water, or hot water if you will, and let it turn to liquid that way, or set it out in the car. Hey. Very first time I got a puck of that, went and got it lunch at work. When I got off work, yeah, it was liquid in there. Just like that. No time at all. Alright, go ahead and get started here. Like I say, that tapered in right there, pretty handy to put your little finger there to help with the control. The plate that is on this particular shaver is the 2-dot plate, which is considered to be classic, if you will. Quite happy with this purchase. I really like this shaver. It is just a joy to shave with. I get good shaves with it. It just performs well for me. Now, if you like I say, if you haven't seen Don's video, you might want to watch it, because he's going to mention some things and maybe explain it a little bit better than what I have about what to expect with this. So if you're thinking you're going to have any issues with the menthol, I'm kind of thinking you probably should pass on this one. Because he's telling you he's got a buttload of menthol in this, and it's, my eyes, trying to tear up, not too terribly bad, but by the end of the shave, might be a bit of a struggle. Nice cooling effect. I knew I was going to like this, so I haven't found a soap from Dawn that I don't like. I'll put a link down below for this stuff and hunt down his video and put a link for it to make it a little bit easier if you're interested in watching his video. Usually his videos aren't too terribly long. 15-minute-ish, somewhere in there. And you can at least watch the part that probably would be more important about how much menthol is in the soap, what to expect. But if you have sensitive skin, I don't know that I would even, no, I don't think I would push the issue with this soap. It might irritate it. Now it goes for any kind of irritation with the, for me with the, any kind of soap or aftershave. I only have one, and it's a different kind of irritation, if you will, in that my face doesn't turn red, but it feels like it's burning, but it doesn't turn red. It doesn't last very long, but it does happen, and that's with Stirling's wintergreen. Still use it. It's not going to stop me from using it. It just seemed like my face, it felt like it was quite warm, but my face wasn't red or anything like that. It's kind of an odd feeling. But I do like the wintergreen. My wife doesn't, but I do. This is the kind of soap I, especially during the summer months, warm months, shave with this all week long. Just too much fun with this one. My eyes are definitely feeling the effects of the menthol. Not trying to tear up real bad, but I can feel it in the corner of my eyes. A lot of fun shaving with stuff like this, in my opinion. I guess in a way, if you will, look at it this way. It's not your typical soap, not your run-of-the-mill, because of the amount of menthol that's in it. This is that shave that just kind of puts things over the top, if you will. If you're looking for a shave that just wows you, this would be one, especially with this kind of menthol. I should say, even though the menthol is expected when you add it to the witch hazel, what it does to the scent of the witch hazel. In my unscented witch hazel, I put it in there, shook it up, made sure it's good mixed in, and then had my wife take a whiff of it, and it had an unusual, unexpected effect on the witch hazel that was unscented. That it smelled more like it smelled like water, but it had a particular scent to it that was familiar. Not that it was familiar in the sense of the menthol being in there, as opposed to the effect of a very clean water, if you will. Like I said, I didn't put a whole lot in the witch hazel, just enough in there. The goal was just to put enough in there where I could feel it, that I could tell that it was in there. Nothing overwhelming, just enough to put, that you can feel it. Nice, gentle cooling effect, if you will. Against the grain. Today's might be just haircut day. Hair is getting a little long. Yeah, my eyes are definitely trying to water. So if your eyes are starting to water and you're using this, you want to make darn sure that you get your hands very clean. Go start rubbing your hands with this menthol. Yeah, you don't want this in your eyes. Did watch Tim's video this morning, shaving with a derby stick. I've shaved with the derby in the putt form, but not necessarily in the stick. And he seemed to like it. It seemed to fit him better than Colonel Conk. Of course, Colonel Conk for me, I only have the one, and that's the Bay Rum. And it works well for me. I like it. But like they say, your mileage may vary. And with this one here, not everybody's going to like this soap. Yes, you might say this is definitely for somebody that wants to enjoy an over-the-top mentholated shave. Which for me is great. I enjoy it. I still feel it on my face. It's still cooling. It's not so bad that my eyes are just seriously watering, but I did try to stop at a point. Now that with the aftershave, it could be a different animal. Because I've already had the soap, and now put the aftershave on top of it. Very nice shave. This is post-shave feel. I've always had good post-shave feels with Dawn soaps. Can't complain. The cream, I guess you might say the soap was pretty easy to lather up. It didn't take a whole lot of effort. I just kind of took my time, kept on working the sides, and eventually it worked right into the lather I was trying to achieve. Like I say, I can't think of a time that I've ever had one of Don's soaps that I didn't particularly care for. Face it, Don tests it out, so if it's not going to pass his test, it's not getting out. So I guess you might say I do trust it. Working this menthol soap in pretty good. Want to make sure that I get the full effect, because it's going to be great today. Like I say, I know it's not going to be for everybody, but definitely worth a try if you're interested in menthol, spearmint, peppermint, eucalyptus, those sort of shaves. This is definitely up those folks' alley, that's for sure. I'm going to shake this witch hazel up a little bit. Like I said, the scent with the citrus in there, the menthol and the citrus seemed to be working pretty well together. I guess you might say it was unexpected. I wasn't expecting this. When we went to, we were out doing a little bit of shopping, and Tony, our German Shepherd, we decided to get him a bone. He goes through the bones like you would not believe. He crunches them up pretty darn quick. Don't last very long with him. So we got one of these, what I call the end or the knot, if you will. I think it's about this big. It's huge. Great big old thing. He's been, got it last night. I say it's about a third of the way gone already. That I tell you what, he's awfully darn strong. Figuring he's a full-grown pup now. He's probably a little over a year old, but he's still got a lot of puppy in him. I'll show you what the restrictor looks like here in just a moment. I have not been able to put my finger on. Maybe it's because the alcohol content along with the menthol gives it a little bit different twist than what's expected. Really nice for those that like menthol. Yeah, this is definitely not your kind of shave if you don't like menthol. Oh, this is great. Really enjoyed the shave. Like I say, if you're interested in menthol over the top, this is definitely worth a try. To me, the aftershave, you got to get the aftershave to go with this also. Like I said, you didn't catch it from the very beginning. I don't know how well the camera's catching those menthol crystals. When I scooped it out and put it in the bowl, There are some little crystals here and there, but Don does mention about mixing it up. I didn't do that for this video because I wanted you to see, you know, how it looks in the tub. But after this video, yeah, I'm mixing it up. Just wanted to let you guys know what I'm doing and what my thoughts were. And hope everybody's doing well. Tomorrow's Father's Day. Oh, Angelo. Yeah, he was shaving with Aristocrat. Awesome looking shaver. Haven't quite decided, but I might have to pull mine out now. Anyway, inspired. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.